Okay, so I want to say welcome to our show and tell today, Heather and Leanti. What we are going to tell you a bit is, first of all, I just wanted to say thank you to the council. Thank you to each one person here that supported us through your donations to make this possible. And we will tell you a little bit more what we are, what we went through. So, Impact Zambia supports New Life Tabernacle and Soul Ministries, our red shirts that we have here. It was their 30th year, so this was a very special year. On the map that you can see there, so obviously we flew from Toronto to New York to Nairobi and to Livingston, and then from there we traveled up. And during all our travels, we had 7 locations where we actually had a missions focus. So most of them were related to New Life Tabernacle, and the others are not. It's people that's friends of ours and places that we always wanted to go. So the places that you can see on the map there that we were as Namwala. So the church that you just saw, that was a church, for instance, that Trinity Christian Reformed helped to build. And it was amazing to be there with him, with members on our trip that's from there. Then we were at Itezi, that is the kind of the main office there. We went for church services, we went for adult basic education classes, then at the New Life Tabernacle Training Center, and then, the Life Impact Training Center, and then also Masasabi Clinic is there. Then on our way back, we went to Mission of Love, it's an orphanage. And then we went to Nyawa, and that's where the Share Your Knowledge project started. So we went back to the original people that were trained back in 2001. So just also to go take a few things to show you is, while we were there, we, with your donations, helped to actually pay for 6,000 plus meals. We arrived, I think it was the Sunday that we finally got there. And since that time, for the week, Tuesday, there was about 400 people that showed up. And by Friday, they added another 80. So we were 480 over the weekend. And that was all made possible to feed them. In the same time, with the funds that we could provide, they could get all the things they needed for the conference, as well as for their 30-year celebrations, and that they were very thankful for. And for instance, included a printer and some, renting of equipment and so on. With us, we took a bunch of suitcases. 14 of those were stacked with books and sports equipment and clothing and medical supplies and school supplies. So very, very handy. And then there were 2 stuffed suitcases that Heather will talk about, which was all supplies to keep about 50 kids busy while we were there. It was really great. While she was keeping the kids busy, the others were teaching the people that were there. And I went back to see, who taught and who attended and all that. And we had 1,645 person hours of learning that took place. And that could have been like a full-day workshop for, 30, or it would be half-day things and so on. Then also, just before we went, we had sufficient donations that came that we could actually have additional well put in, and it is drought-stricken, that area. So we fortunately had 2 wells with, that amount of people on one side. It was still challenging, but it was fantastic, and the community is using that. During our monthly supports that we receive, we are actually contributing to those 6 people, to Daniel and Florence, our leaders, as well as the caretakers of our training center, with a monthly, like a salary. Not a lot, particularly if you think about Canadian ways, but definitely for them. Yeah, so I'm going to hand it over to Heather now, that will run in.
Thank you. I just want to say that the kids there are amazing. If you just look at the pictures, I mean, they're amazing. The ages were anywhere from 2 to 16 doing crafts, but there were a lot of babies there too. About 50 kids doing crafts. So this is how the kids will catch you doing something silly. I had a wall map that was donated. I was going to tape it to the side of the building that was there, and the kids were laughing and saying poo-poo, poo-poo. And I'm like, what? So anyways, here the kids caught me trying to put up a map on the side of their toilet. I didn't realize that it was the toilet. So yeah, even in Africa, the kids will catch you. I just wanted to thank all the people who had donated both financially and who gave supplies. The kids were just in awe. Look at them, they're beautiful. The pipe cleaners, I thought for sure that I went there with way too many. Like the kids will have nothing to do. But honestly, the pipe cleaners were a big hit. Before I even was able to hand everything out, the kids had already made things with them. So I had no direction to give to the kids. They were already on it, So, and they did. They made beautiful things, anywhere from glasses to tiaras, bracelets. Even one little girl, I just love it. She spelt with each of the pipe cleaners, she spelt love and had a little heart. It was just beautiful. I did it. Yep, okay. I tore pages out of coloring books out to the little ones and gave them a crayon. Their masterpieces were beautiful. Different colored construction paper with all kinds of stickers were handed out. The kids did an amazing job, and they were very creative. Beads were put on string to make many beautiful necklaces and bracelets, and were worn with great pride of their achievements. I asked the kids to draw their houses and their school. They were very eager to show their drawings. And as I say, you just see the pictures there, and even the big kid who's got the glasses, pipe cleaner glasses. The kids went there with absolutely nothing to do or to play with. So your love and your support and prayers brought them much joy, a time of fellowship and a time of having fun by creating.
Okay, let me just catch up a little bit here. So I'm going to talk about what the people did while she was entertaining the kids and had lots of fun. And that was what happened with the adults. So in the time, you'll just see, let me just, yeah. So of that 1,645 hours that were taught, there were a bunch of programs. And I'm going to read it to you, and then you will see some pictures there, what happened there. So, you know, we had Kim that did safe food handling for big volume cooking. She did cooking with cornmeal, which is Nshima, the staple, but she taught him about tortillas and tostados and cornbread. She even did a class on cooking with orange jam, and she thought she's going to have like 12 in the class. There were about 100 sitting there waiting, and then she had to adjust and, everybody had the chance, and she did very well with that. In the meantime, we had a group, we had Wendy, and she taught how to experience with people with disabilities and what they can do, what women that is supporting them or other men that they could maybe help in their communities to build things that could help for people with disabilities. We had Connie, and she helped, taught them to do massage techniques for pain relief. Now, they have no access to massage therapists or chiropractors or something, so they were really glad. They did specific techniques, and then she actually worked through with them. And then there was the stress and anxiety and depression classes that had about 60 or 70 people. There were adult learning in town that we did as well. And then also there was dealing with trauma and PTSD that was done, as well as a tree of life. So that when you saw those big sheets of paper, that was the tree of life. So yeah, and then the rest of the time there was also a lot of celebration. So what you can see now is just the activities. When they sing in their church, they dance. There's always movement. There's always, like, all of us were up at one point dancing during the service. It's just so much joy that you experience in that time, you know. So with the 30 years, all of the people that came for the celebrations, they had choirs, they had outfits, as you can see, that a lot of the women made, that know how to make. So all of that, it was just a great way of experiencing joy. Now, I think the Tuesday night, now I did not put that video in just for time's sake, but a Tuesday night, there was a bus that arrived after a 12-hour journey from the western part of Zambia. And you must have experienced the joy. Everybody was yelling, la, 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 you know what they do? And they were singing, the whole bus was singing. So that joy was possible because of the fact that we could go with your support. So thank you very much for all of that. So I think we're almost through all these pictures, and then I'm going to pass it back to Heather, and she's going to talk about Mission of Love. She's going to start talking and us.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, so we had stopped off at Mission of Love. Along the way, they're dear friends of Leante's. Mission of Love is in a very remote area of Zambia. Yako and Amber, along with their two sons, Jacob and Jeremiah, run this orphanage. It truly is a mission of love. They run a farm as well as the orphanage with cattle, pigs, other animals, cornfield, vegetable field. This farm is expanding its knowledge by turning it into a self-reliable farm in order to look after the children that are placed in their care and their family. Amber also homeschools all the children. This is one remarkable family, being the hands and feet of the Lord. My heart broke seeing these beautiful children, not with their parents, but so very thankful that they are with Yako and Amber. One baby that I'll never ever forget, I was told that the baby had been born in the back of a taxi. The mom got out to fix herself up, but before she got back in the taxi, another car had hit and killed her. You know, we're able to give them a suitcase full of clothes and supplies and a small donation. it would be a blessing for this couple to receive whatever they can to help support these children. Leanti has many amazing friends and family who are doing work for the Lord. Thank you.
Yeah, so while we were at Mission of Love, myself and Yaku shared a birthday. So it was a fantastic experience being there with them for that. Good, so now I'm going to just talk a little bit about the training center development. So while we were there, part of myself and then Mutinta, the lady that you saw there, Mutinta Kola, she is from Zambia. She was there last year with the Engineering Ministries International, and she came again this year to kind of help. And then Hugh Bergsma, and we worked on kind of a further planning, developing how can we get this training center going. We have like the initial thing that we need to do, and we've got a 7-year plan. So as we can get funding for it and we can move on, this dream of the training center started. Oh yeah, now I need to stop there. This dream started in 2009. Well, I heard of it 2009 of having a training center. We're 15 years later. We have a 7-year plan, but it's based on how much we can raise. They want to do just like you start a school, one grade at a time. We will do the same. Once we can get the basic changes done to the training center that we could accommodate the classes according to their, then we can actually really start doing that. Then the other part that you see there is at Nyawa. So that's the original clubhouse where the training started. And we went back to those women. And some of the items at the front you will see is what they made and that we bought there. And hopefully we can do some more. So back to you. And it's going to not stop because I was half asleep here.
Okay. So when we were back into civilization, we did our souvenir shopping. Upon this one shop was a T-shirt. And of course, it was too small for me, but I wanted it so bad. When I got home, I had it made up. So, Africa is not for sissies. And I mean that in a good way. Zambia is beautiful. The breeze, I remember, is so soothing, and yet you're covered in dirt. It's not an obvious shower of sand. It is very subtle shower of sand. The main roads in the town are like here, paved with potholes. But then you go on the side street. Well, let's just say that however the dust settled, that's how the dust settled. There's ruts, divots. Then in the remote areas, it's the same. In fact, it's worse. You're bounced around constantly in your vehicle. You have to be ready for anything. And when I mean anything, I mean anything. We had 3 flat tires. And helped out another vehicle who had a flat tire, while there was a herd of elephants. And the one elephant, he wanted to charge at us. And we're like, and the auntie's, taking pictures. And we're like, get going. He's going to charge, right? And so anyways, she had no idea that about this elephant. And also Daniel, he had a broken brake line. Yeah, so you have to be prepared for anything. There is a drought season. We were there during the worst season. Water was scarce. I personally couldn't have a bath for 3 days, and there was absolutely no water at the hotel we stayed at. we did always have drinking water, praise the Lord. So if you didn't have water to shower, you certainly didn't have water to clean your clothes. And one thing you would never ever do, you do not go to the edge of the river to wash or rinse, because there really is crocodiles in that water. So yeah, you got to watch what you're doing. And driving along in the remote, yes, you will have to stop for herds of elephants or gazelle or water buffalo. They'll walk right out in front of you. And remember that we're in their territory, and it's at their pace and not our time. So when you see people carrying water buckets on their heads and carrying buckets in each hand, remember these people walked for miles. They're tough. Their lives are tough, but they are the most happiest, friendliest people I have ever met. Would I ever go back? In a heartbeat, now that I'm over my homesickness.
And I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, so just to invite, we will have a bit more. On November 23rd, we have a dinner and auction. I hope that you would support us and join us. We are trying to still raise money for that, to open up the training center as soon as possible. So, consider there's stuff behind, or contact us. And then just to stop, this is your thank you, goodbye song. Beautiful. So thank you very much. That's a lot. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, I have one more thing. Africa is not for sissies. I just wanted to tell you, that wasn't to discourage you, but to encourage you, to inform you that life is not easy to live there, or it's not easy to visit there either, but they need our help. You don't have to be a professional. We all have something to give. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, and that's, if you can, we need practical skills. Obviously, we need mechanic as well. So anything or any experience will help. Thank you.